Chase been out all training camp in a hold-in, right? He's been there but not practicing.
And he's not happy. And I'm going to tell you one thing. I play wide receiver shot. You don't want an unhappy receiver going out there running routes for you. I promise you that shot. They ain't going to let you say.
Thanks for listening to KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank. If you're thinking about starting a business or know someone who is, check out Emprise Bank's SBA loans. It's always good to know your options, and they can be your partner in possible.
All right, man, welcome to week 2 of The Process, where the process is always greater than what it produces. Man, it's your boy Shawn Barber, 10-year NFL vet, former Chiefs linebacker, and I have the privilege of having one of my former teammates as a guest on the show. Before we get to who it is, I know you see who it is, a man, a myth, a legend, one of the greatest returners of all, X Factor. But before we get to him and introducing him, let me pay some bills. So, hey, man, everybody knows the title sponsor of our group. You see it at the bottom of the screen is the McGinnis Group. Yes, I work with the McGinnis Group, and we specialize in employee benefits, health insurance for companies, retirement and financial services, life insurance, and long-term care. We would love the opportunity to review your company's game plan and discuss a long-term plan for the game of life. Together, everyone achieves more. That's TEAM. Be a part of the MGI team. McGinnis Group got your back. So whenever you have a time, reach out to myself, Sonny, Scott, Matt, anybody at the McGinnis Group, and let us see if we can be a part of your financial future. And with that said, let's get to the show because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. This is my man, my blood, my ace, my coon, my boom, my guy, Dante Hall, X Factor. He got 18 different names. Texas A&M's greatest returner, the Chiefs Ring of Honor member, all of that. Let's just include all of that. Man, this is a brother of mine. D Hall, man, good to have you. You was here last week for the opening week. It was a blessing to see you. Let's talk about what you got going on, and let's get it.
First of all, let's address something now. Is that a 82 Bowl or is that an 82 Hall you rocking? Hey, my bro.
Hey, bro.
Oh, man.
No, I ain't rocking the. I'm broken the Hall, man. You know, Bo Allen. You know what? I'm gonna tell you. One of them Super Bowls in Miami, I had a chance to go down there and hang out with Dwayne Bowe, and I've
been to Bo Allen.
I enjoyed myself on Bo Allen. I tell you that. You got some fishing right in the backyard. Put the fishing line in the water. Man, you got the jet skis and the boats, and like we know when it comes down to celebrate and have some fun, he does it all different ways. And the rapping.
That's my man. I call him Big 82.
Big 82.
Big 82.
So anyway, going on, D.R.?
Man, I got a lot going on, to be honest, man. The first and foremost, man, what's above everything is I'm knee-deep in fatherhood right now, man. I'm loving fatherhood. My kids, we just moved into a new home, a home that we're going to finish raising the kids in. Wife is happy. That means dad is happy. The kids are happy. They all go to the same school for the first time. So first and foremost, fatherhood and husbandhood is amazing. That's probably the number one thing I got going on. That's my number one priority. And that we got to say that off top.
Happy wife, happy life.
That's 100%.
Happy wife,
100%. Danny got to be happy too now, but we're going to start with wife. We're going to start with wife and filter it on down. Work-wise, man, last time we spoke shop, I took a job with the NFL Legends community, working with Tracy Perman. My role as a Legends coordinator, I basically help guys facilitate the transition into retirement, making them aware of all the wonderful programs and resources that they have for them. That also comes with a lot of other jobs and things that the NFL has me doing, but I'm definitely enjoying this role. I'm working with Sky Sports again for the 4th year in a row. I go every year to London, and I do work with them for about a month. And, of course, working with my Chiefs as an ambassador, that also leads to other and many opportunities, autograph signings, speaking engagements, what have you, et cetera, et cetera. So heavily involved with the NFL still, and I'm blessed and very fortunate for that.
Well, you know the kingdom is always going to be praying for you during your travels, when you're away from home, covering with your family and your kids, keeping them safe while you're away and keeping you safe while you travel. No doubt, no doubt. The kingdom loves you, brother. So we're going to talk about, yes, sir. So the first segment of the show, man, we're going to kind of do a little recap of last week, some of the things that went on in the NFL, maybe some even Chiefs games. So let's just get involved with the Chiefs. The Chiefs ended up taking care of business, opening game of the NFL, Thursday Night Football. The Baltimore Ravens came into town. The Ravens came back with a chip on their shoulder. They was a little bit upset that we kicked the field goal kicker's helmet last year and kicked his ball out the way, so he was feeling a little some way, a little emo, right? Full of his emotions. The tight end felt like, you know what, he didn't have a chance to play late in the season because he was injured. Now they have this new tight end, Likely, who, I mean, he got off. He got it. He did do his thing. And then they added King Henry. So King Henry comes back into Arrowhead Stadium. Hasn't had much success here in Arrowhead, even though he's been a great running back, one of the top running backs in the league year in and year out. It seems that when he gets to, you know, facing Steve Spagnuolo and facing the Chiefs here in Arrowhead, he just hasn't had some of his greatest days. So the running game got kind of stifled. Lamar did his thing. Lamar got off. He was able to run around and do some scrambling and do some quarterback powers and some things like that kind of got us on our heels. But all in all, man, it seems like from the beginning of the game, once the Chiefs got the lead, that they kind of didn't look back. I didn't see many situations in the second half where I felt like the game was really within reach for the Ravens and the style of play they were playing. Obviously, a lot of the guys on air and stuff talked about in the AFC Championship game. If the Ravens would have just continued to be who they are, run the football, the Chiefs couldn't stop the run, and you went away from who you are trying to play. You know, Lamar tried to play Pat's game and this and that, and so you knew when they came to Kansas City they was gonna run that. You know they heard that all off season, so.
That's what we thought, at least.
I mean, that's what we thought, but game time came. Mike Tyson said everybody got a game plan till they feel that first punch.
That's right.
So the first time the Chiefs went down and ran down that field and scored on them, I think that was that first punch, and then they tried to change. They morphed into more of a pass first type offense. And
I will say this in regards to that shot. Maybe they did have a game plan to come out and run King Henry. But sometimes that can be a great decoy, right? Maybe that's why Lamar was able to get 122 rushing yards against Spags, because the focus was on King Henry and shutting him down. So a lot of times players can be pivotal. They can be important without the stats, without the yardage, just by being a decoy, just by being a focus point. So I'm assuming that's what happened in this game. But I think if Baltimore ever wants to beat the Chiefs, it cannot be Lamar versus Patrick. They're going to lose that every time. They got to hang their hat on their defense and run the ball down the Chiefs' throat. Like you said, it's a game plan, easier said than done. But for me, if I'm a coach, we've seen Lamar put up 400 yards of offense, 102 yards rushing, and still lose. So you can't keep doing the same thing over and over. If I'm playing the Chiefs, King Henry's going to touch the ball 30 times. We're going old school 90s football. That's just it. That's the only way I think you can beat the Chiefs. Ball possession, keep Mahomes and that offense off the field.
Like you said, easier said than done, but I do like the process, or the thought process of using King Henry as a decoy for week one. And maybe that does set up a lot of victories down the road for the Ravens. Just not a winning formula to win on Thursday Night Football to kick off the season. So around the league, man, I wanted to just go over some things that was going on. I mean, again, you being a wide receiver, obviously we're going to spend a small, just a little bit of – I got to know how you feel about what happened in Miami. You know what I'm saying? My man Tyreek, and I say my man because, listen, I really don't care when you play for the Chiefs, not against the Chiefs, whatever. When you enter the league, you become a brother to me.
That's right.
This is a brotherhood. Yeah, on game day, we go against each other. We trying to all get wins. But all in all, we all trying to live as long as we can, make as much money as we can, feed our families, take care of who we need to take care, create legacies.
Support each other on and off
the field. So I was just a little bit disturbed. I was kind of taken back. I was kind of left speechless almost when I saw the video of him getting detained, handcuffed, forced to the ground, and then able to somehow pull himself together and still have a great game. What any initial feedback from just, I guess what you've heard or seen from all of that?
Yeah, so my first thought was definitely rogue cops. You could just tell the way they were handling the situation. There was an underlying, in my opinion, vindictive attitude, jealous attitude, game mentality. I'm the boss, you're not. Like, an officer's job is to de-escalate the situation. They escalated the situation. Now, I personally don't believe Tyreek Hill is 0% at fault. He has a small percent, very small percent, in the way he initially, his tone with the police officer. Still does not warrant him being drugged out of a car, face down on the pavement, handcuffed. Does not warrant that. But if I'm Tyreek, I'm just not going to handle that situation like that. And hopefully that will prevent what happened to him. So if I'm doing a pie chart, I'm going to give Tyreek 5%. I'm going to give him 5% of the blame. Just be a little more humble. Be a little more, nice. Niceness goes a long way in society, man. It definitely goes a long way with the cops. So I'm going to give him 5%. But that still does not warrant him being treated the way he was treated, the way Kayla's, what's the big D lineman name? The way he was treated. They got to, as a cop, you're in that position, de-escalate the situation, man. Very sad and unfortunate to see that. And if that's anyone else, maybe lives would have been lost. You know what I mean? Well, that's the scary part about it. But definitely that cop, I don't want that cop not to be able to feed his family, but maybe he needs another job. Maybe he needs to be in an administrative role, because to have that attitude and that went within shot. Go back and look. It all happened in 1 minute.
I know. That's what I was saying. It was very.
There was no de-escalation whatsoever initiated whatsoever. So cops are absolutely dead wrong in that situation.
All right. I agree with you 100%, man. Obviously, we talk about compliant. You try to be is respectful. There was disrespect on both sides, but listen, when one group got guns and there's 5 of them, that's probably not the time to show, get Robin Chest and wanted to, be dismissive and stuff like that. So, but hey, man, listen, he still had a great game. Finished off. They came back.
Celebration. Come on now. The celebration shot. Come on, man.
Well, that sucker's classic. But listen, you talk about somebody who can take anything and turn it into something. It don't take much.
The celebration
sign, can't do peace and work. Hey, man, he's one
of one shot. He's one
Django Unchained, bro. He's like, set me free, set my people free. Hey, real quick, I'm going to run down just some other things went on week 1. Josh Allen, potential MVP, comeback versus the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals jumped out and got ahead of him. Obviously, we all know, Josh going to be Josh. If you give him the ball with anything left on the clock, he's going to
move that ball.
He's going to move that ball and make magic. The Steelers and the Bears, man, both teams, offense on both teams didn't score a field goal. Two NFL teams played the entire ball game in the offense that didn't score a touchdown.
And won again.
Both teams won. Both teams, I think the Steelers had 6 field goals. The Bears had 3 or 4, but then they had 2 defensive touchdowns, a blocked punt, and then a pick 6 at the end of the game, or a fumble picked up at the end of the game. That's just wild to me how those things happen.
Hey, stop. At the end of the year, when they add them wins and losses up, it don't come with pictures. It don't come with stats. It comes
no asterisks, no stats.
None of that.
And then last but not least, before we take a break, your boy Dak Prescott, the highest ever in the history of the NFL. He gets the bag. He sets the standard. He held out and did what he had to do all off season. Just kept going about his work. Say, hey man, I'm on the books of 55 no matter what. So y'all come see me, don't come see me. I'm gonna go out here and play. Everybody else can hold out, hold in, do what you want to do. I'm going to show up, I'm going to show out, and then at the end of the season, they can't franchise me, they can't trade me, I'm going to be super free, I'm going to go out here and ball, and they're going to wish they did what they did. They went ahead and gave him the bag, man. So, man, proud for that young man. I'm always proud to see the next person. I don't care, white, black, Asian, I don't care what color y'all, none of that matters to me. But
only color that matters is green. Green.
All right. That matters is green. That check, it cashed. Jerry Jones, man, I don't understand, just from a football philosophy, like I said, the process is all. Only thing that matters to me on this show is the process. It produced getting CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott both signed by week 1. But when I look back at the process of what the Cowboys did, allowing Amon St. Brown and these other guys to sign before CD, allowing quarterbacks to get signed when you knew he was going to do a deal, it seemed like they just cost themselves an extra $10 to $15 million a year to get done what they could have got done at the beginning.
It also cost them being able to, during the offseason, add a few more pieces. If they would have did this back in the offseason, they could have freed up some money in the salary cap, maybe went out and got a linebacker, maybe another secondary guy. But because they waited so long, like you said, their process is great for moving the needle. Their process is great for clicks, for media attention.
Yes,
their process for winning a Super Bowl, I don't need to say it.
God awful. Yes, right.
You said it, not me.
Terrible. It's terrible. I know you in Texas, so you can't say nothing about your boys down there. But I from Kansas City, I can tell you it was terrible. So, but hey, like real quick, man, we're gonna take a break. Get back. Segment 2. We're gonna do some. It's a new segment, man. Shout out to our guys at Red Door Grill, Josh and everybody. The Red Door Grill family is something that's been so important to me. I've been enjoying their food all year. I mean, for years now. But we got a little segment. We're gonna talk about some key ingredients when it comes to week 2 for the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's going to be segment 2. I'll be right back at you.
Shop Chiefs tickets and more with no fees. Plus, save big with code KCSN at ticketsforless.com, the official ticket provider of KC Sports Network.
All right, here we go. Right back at you. This is segment 2 of The Process, where the process is always greater than what it produces. Again, this is your boy, Shawn Barber. I'm with my former teammate, my ace, my coon, my boom, my guy, Dante, the X Factor Hall, number 82 in your heart, number 1 in your mind. Obviously, doing amazing things, man. We talked about family. We talked about kids. We talked about the first week 1 of the NFL and what got us to this point. And now it's time for segment 2. Key ingredients. Man, I had a chance to stop by Red Door Grill the other day. And for starters, they got a brand new starter on the menu, man. I got to read what this is because I don't want to mess it up. It's a Delta shrimp and grits. That's new to the menu. It's sauteed shrimp, sausages and peppers. It's got stone ground white grits, and it's finished off with some smoked tomato gravy. Not just no regular smoked tomato gravy. Now listen,
my stomach is doing some Montbao summer sauce right now.
Yeah, buddy. So when we talk about key ingredients, we're going to talk about one of the feature items on the menu, and then I'm going to compare it to one of the Chiefs players. So for the starter, if we talk about week 2, man, the starter, that shrimp and grits, it got to go by my man Pacheco, the running back, right? The mouth of the South, the proud, rambling, whatever he is from Rutgers University, right? From Jersey. Here in Kansas City, man, that guy, we knows, man, he's an Energizer Bunny. The ball's given in his hand. He's always a bunch of energy, full of flavor, full of everything you need, man. That's the way to start your meal. So Pacheco is my starter. That's my starting ingredient, my starting key feature. And then when I think about how to go on to the main menu, I look at our offensive line. And I look at our offensive line, and we got, man, we got our center re-signed up. Creed Humphreys, we're still working on a deal with Trey. We got to get Trey signed up for long term. But we got some new talent.
The young left tackle
from BYU. And then we got the old veteran, man, Tooney right there. And so him and Taylor are the 2 veterans right there. So, man, when you look about all those guys put together, man, I was thinking about what I'm going to have later on tonight. One of my favorite items on the menu at Red Door Grill is they have a honey chicken sandwich. this honey chicken sandwich. It's not our offensive line, you know,
spicy.
It's got this. They call it an ancho honey glaze. Ancho honey glaze that goes on top of the chicken. So this chicken breast is seared, grilled precisely the way it needs to be done. It's wood-fire grilled chicken breast. It has smoked bacon on it, some shaved lettuce, and vine grape tomatoes. And then they got this honey glaze that goes over it. So, man, like, again, I know like you said, them Simone Biles turns your stomach is doing. I'm right here. I'm trying not to, drool on this microphone right here because I'm thinking about what I'm going to have tonight. But our offensive line, the way we're put together and the way we work together is just like that perfect sandwich. And it's put together just to create.
You got the balls, that's left tackles. Creed is that honey seared chicken breast you were talking about.
Yeah, buddy.
And then
Tony.
Yeah. Tony, what is Tony?
The smoked bacon. He just
bacon. Eat the bacon.
The smoked bacon.
Like that. Oh, go green center and the bacon.
That's right. The bacon. We just put it together, baby. And that's the way we're going to do it, man. We talk about Red Door Grill. It's a neighborhood restaurant, man, just a staple in the Kansas City community. Each week we're going to do a segment where we kind of break down two of their feature items and compare it to some guys and how we see them impacting the game. So we talk about week 2. We talk about these Bengals, man. They coming in town. I mean, the Bengals have had when I talk about a team that's had a rough start over the last 3 or 4 years, in the first 2 weeks, I think they only have one win going back to Coach Taylor, the head coach for the Bengals, since he's got to Cincinnati. If you add up all of their week 1 and week 2 games, I think they're like 1-9 or 1-10 or something like that going into 1-9, 1-2, whatever it is, going into this week's game against the Chiefs. And this ain't no easy game right here going against the Chiefs. You're going against the back-to-back Super Bowl champions, and each season you start off slow. Now they finished off some seasons recently, strong. Came here to Arrowhead, and they came here and they had a great second half. Came back and won that game. I think we were up 24-3, something like that. Went into halftime. EB and Patrick were not seeing the same thing. I think the adjustments they made for the second half just wasn't obviously the right ones. We ended up losing the game. But we've always kind of, honestly, when I've seen the recent games against the Bengals, it's something about their defensive coordinator. He's been able to make Patrick hesitate a little bit where no one else has been made. I don't know if it's the back end, the shell, and they've lost Bates. So they don't have Bates back there. No, they got Hilton still there, but they don't have Bates. So that's that savvy veteran presence at safety. Maybe he was creating some disguising or doing some things that cost.
I think it was shot. My opinion, I think is, and this has always been a kryptonite to greats like Mahomes, greats like Brady, Peyton Manning. If you can get to the quarterback with just 4 down linemen, that frees everyone up on the back end. It frees up the defensive coordinator to be able to call exotic coverages. And that's what I think in the past, facing the Bengals, has given the Chiefs offense and Mahomes, a little bit of pause, because typically to get to the quarterback, you got to bring a blitz. You got to bring pressure. And when you do that with more than just a 4 down lineman, that's when guys like Mahomes and Brady, these guys are eat you alive. They can read the defense just as well as any offensive coordinator. So for me, if you could get to bring pressure with just 4 guys, that's what the Bengals have been able to do versus the Chiefs in the past.
Yeah, when you look at the film, you see the one thing, even going back a year ago, the one thing that the Bengals have always been really good at doing is it's a thing called a simulated blitz, where it gives you the look like they're coming. Like you said, now instead of bringing 5 and 6, sometimes it's only 3 people coming.
Yeah.
So now those areas of zones where you were about to throw a hot route, it's now closed. If somebody fell back into that area, it's a bunch of underneath coverage is very soft over the top. So now the thought process of, as the quarterback, I thought I was going to get pressure, so I knew I was going to have these man coverages and go to these out-breaking routes. Well, now they change it and they don't bring pressure. Now everybody falls back into the
quarterback got to pull the ball down. He's in scramble mode. And then,
and they got those guys. Yeah. They got the guys on the edge that can kind of get there just with 3 men.
Is Henderson? Henderson still there?
Yeah, Henderson, right? Henderson.
Yeah.
They still got Sam. D lineman Sam, and then they got the B.J. Hill. So they got guys that can create pressure and get to your quarterback and do some things. But again, they've done something on that back end. It just doesn't give a clear read. So we and historically we haven't been able to really take advantage of some of the things like we've done against so many other defenses. But on the offensive side of the ball, man, I'm gonna have to talk about it. The Bengals against the Patriots in Week 1. That was almost pathetic. It was. Well, we saw T. Higgins had a hammy or something, so he was going to be out. Chase been out all training camp in a hold-in, right? He's been there but not practicing.
And he's not happy. And I'm going to tell you one thing. I play wide receiver shot. You don't want an unhappy receiver going out there running routes for you. I promise you that shot. They ain't going to let you say.
He ain't happy. So, but he ended up with 6 catches for about 62 yards, but nothing down the field. Nothing. He never was a threat deep. Exactly. And we know that. I mean, he's went for 200 yards against us before, so we know that he is a all over the field, ball in his hand, monster, 1-of-1 when he has the ball.
Yeah, but T. Higgins and he are like, a ham and egg sandwich. You need both. They complement each other so well. And if you could only just have to focus on Chase and no Higgins, that's going to diminish what Chase can bring to the game and vice versa. So I really don't think we can judge their offense until both guys are back on the field and both are back in game shape.
And with the loss of Mixon.
Yeah.
Running back. Mixon went to Houston, and now they're going with the two.
You saw what he did down in Houston for them Week 1.
Yeah.
So,
yes, sir. Yeah. So the story or the reports of him being lost a step or being a little too, they obviously missed out on that one. I think a lot of teams who thought their running back was past due. We saw the Eagles pick up Saquon Barkley, and obviously New York Giants thought that he was not worth it.
He needs to call the Giants every day and say, thank you for not re-signing. Thank you. I appreciate you. You did him the biggest.
Yes, sir. So
sometimes blessing comes unintentional.
Yes, sir.
What's that law? The law of unintended consequences.
Got to write that one down.
That's a real law. And he is benefiting from it going over to getting out of New York, man, because I know you saw what happened in New York. Oh, my.
Man, again, there's some things. We're going to talk about some risers and some fallers, the winners and the losers from Week 1. We're going to do a power ranking at the end of the second segment. But just finishing up with the Chiefs as far as Week 2, defensively, going against Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow still, I still haven't seen him throw a deep ball that looks like the old Joe. So this ligament issue in his hand that's bothered him, and
it's his wrist, right? I think it's his wrist.
In his wrist, yeah, it's a ligament in his wrist, and they saying that from the strength wise, and I mean he's got to kind of train himself back to being able to throw the ball, and not being 100% sure about that aspect of your at your quarterback position. It's very hard for me to believe that with the talent they have on the field in the wide receiver room, Gesicki, the tight end, he was a toe out from catching a touchdown. I think he just missed him on a touchdown grab in the game, but he seems to be if you ask me, because Jamar Chase isn't 100% yet as far as just game reps, right? Just not up to his normal self. T. Higgins, obviously, this is going to be his first game since the ham, so you got to see him kind of coming out the gate slow. If there's any person on that team, I don't, both of those running backs, Chase Brown and Zach Moss together ain't even as good as Mixon was. No. So I do believe that the one person on that team that I am, somewhat, I guess, worried about is the matchup with Gesicki against our linebackers, because if that was one position on one thing about our Week 1 performance that I do have to grade subpar, it was some of the coverage down the field by our linebackers when paired up and matched up against Isaiah Likely.
Yeah, but Likely is a different beast, and on the touchdown play that he made, it was a phenomenal play by him. To play devil's advocate and look at the positive rather than the negative. Bolton was there in position. He was in position. I think in years past, we've seen our linebackers just completely out of position, completely undermanned. And so for me, yes, our linebacker play could be a little better, but I like the fact that they were in position to make plays, and I think moving forward they will be able to make those plays. And they're not going to see many guys with the talent of Likely moving forward. Maybe a couple of guys, but Likely he's special.
Yeah, he is. All right, so hey, that's segment 2 is going to be in the books. We're going to, like I say, each week we're going to feature another food item, a starter, maybe a dessert every once in a while from our segment 2 sponsor, which is Red Door Grill. Man, a neighborhood restaurant here in Kansas City. We love their food. They also have spots out in Arizona. Anytime we can give support to the organizations and the companies that support us, man, we always want to do it on the process. So I'll be back with you. Segment 3, we're going to wrap this thing up, close it down. I got my guy, Dante Hall, the X Factor with us. I'm your guy, Shawn Barber. You're listening to The Process.
We appreciate you supporting KC Sports Network by listening to our podcast. You have helped us become the highest-ranked Chiefs podcast network in 2022 and 2023. And don't forget about our daily Substack newsletter, the best written analysis you can find on the Chiefs straight to your inbox every day. kcsn.substack.com.
All right, welcome back to The Process. The Process is always greater than what it produces. Obviously, man, take another shout-out to give our title sponsor, the McGinnis Group, all the credit in the world. Any insurance benefits needs you have as far as your company is concerned, reach out to Matt, Scott, and Sonny at the McGinnis Group and let us know how to become a part of your team so you can become a part of our team. Together, everyone achieves more. And then also the Red Door Grill. We're going to just continue to prop them up and talk about them because they do an awesome job here is feeding our community here in Kansas City. So love both of those companies. Dante, man, when we get into the third segment of the show, it's all about power rankings. We talk about what's coming up in what is the best 3, the most powerful, impactful games in week 2. So the power rankings, I'm going to tell you what I got. I'm going to say what I got. I know everybody got their own opinion. That's like elbows and you know what. Everybody got one. So at number 1, man, I'm just gonna go through my 5, and then you tell me where I'm wrong at. I'm gonna go through all 5, and then you tell me when we go back what. So at number 1, I got the 49ers.
Okay, you crazy. Right off the top. You're out of here now. Before we continue.
Right, let's start right there. All right, number 2, I got the Chiefs. Number 3, I got the Detroit Lions. Number 4, I got the Dallas Cowboys, Big Dak and CD. And then at number 5, I got those Philadelphia Fly Eagles. So tell me where I'm wrong at, Taterhead.
1 and 4.
All right, let me know. At 1, who you got? Who is the best team in the NFL right now?
And I'm not even being biased with this. It's the Chiefs. It's the home team. I mean, we've gotten so much better on offense, obviously, and we haven't even seen Hollywood Brown yet. Xavier Worthy is just going to continue to get more confidence to get better. The running game is going to get stronger. I love Pacheco's in his 3rd year now. You know, he's going to be instrumental. I love our defense. Now, the only concern I had going into the season was on defense, losing Snead because he was instrumental to our defense. But week 1, put all that nervousness to rest. I think our defense and our young guys are going to continue to get better. I got the Chiefs number 1, period, point blank.
I feel you, Tate. The only reason I said the 49ers is because I think the expectation on Monday Night Football was when CMC had to sit out, I thought there was going to be a little bit of a lull, a little bit of a, man, like, all right, just, Mason next man up type thing, but not everybody else has to bear a little bit. Trent Williams hadn't practiced, hadn't been, available. He just come up game day like he the number 1 tackle in the league, like he ain't miss a beat. And then Ayuk, the whole trade scenario with the Steelers all off season, and then him kind of getting back into the fold. So I was a little bit concerned that maybe the Jets were gonna pop up and just surprise them. They again, we talk about the process, man. They seem like they are dedicated to running that ball, getting downhill, punching you in the mouth.
I give it to you. They are a formidable team. I have the utmost respect for San Francisco, but no way can I put a team that has lost to another team twice in the Super Bowl ahead of that team.
Okay. All right.
And then number 2, I'm not even putting San Francisco number 2. Detroit should have beat San Francisco last year. We all know that. Was handed it to them. And Josh Reynolds, simple routine catches on fourth down. He catches those passes. We don't need a spectacular catch. We don't need anything other than you to make simple high school routine. It's here. You don't have to reach up. You don't have to reach down. It's here. Catch those, and Detroit Lions are in the Super Bowl. I think they're going to be even better. They made some additions on defense in the secondary that has really opened up that defense for Aaron Glenn. I like Detroit at number 2. So I go Chiefs, Detroit, then I go San Fran. Okay. And Dallas, how is Dallas even in? Maybe I can't even put Dallas in my top 5.
Oh, Lord.
We know they're going to flame out. We have 30 years of flame outs to go on. So,
D, this is after week 1. This is
okay. My bad. I'm too far in the future. I'm too far in the future. I'm not.
You said that the Chiefs lost to the 49ers twice in the Super. You done used 2 Super Bowl appearances to knock the 49ers down, and then Chiefs. Man, this team going for a 3-peat. So they number 1 until somebody else knock them off. Okay, this is
week 1. Okay,
this is after week 1.
Power round. Week 1.
This is week 1. But I still think you got a good argument for the 49ers dropping down to 3 because the Detroit Lions, they are legit, man. They got the tight end. They got who showed out today? Number 9, the dude from Alabama, Jameson Williams.
You got the running back also from Alabama, Gibbs. Yep.
Montgomery. Sam Laporta, and we ain't even talked about Amar St. Like
last week.
He didn't do nothing, and they should have definitely that game. I think they kind of, some in the fourth quarter they kind of got a little too
comfortable.
Yeah, a little too comfortable, and then the Rams were able to make some plays and force them to overtime. And then in overtime they just turned the switch back on and ran Montgomery down their throat. It was it. So. Man, the ability to run that ball at will, the ability to have that kind of those weapons. And Goff is doing what Goff has always done. He's been a phenomenal distributor of the football. And even when he needed to run for a big first down to keep that game going, he was able to convert with his legs. I think that definitely caught everybody by surprise. So I can see the Lions being tough.
And then Dallas, you got them at 4.
I got the Lions.
Looking at is Sean Watson. Was he playing for the Cleveland Browns or was he playing for the Dallas Cowboys? So, I mean, that part alone knocked Dallas down because now I will say this. Dallas, it was impressive to go in and do what they did against that defense.
On the road.
Shit. But I think if Deshaun Watson makes a couple of more throws, easy throws, routine throws, you put that pressure on Dak and that offense, and we know how they look when they get a little bit of pressure. We already know how them Cowboys look. So, that's why I don't have Dallas in my top 4. I like the Eagles. I think they're a formidable team. But I'm just not with you on 1 and 4 shot.
All right, I can deal with that, man. Listen, I love a look. And then we're gonna talk. All right, so listen, we kind of agree who is the top 4 or 5 teams. So I like that. I like we got some commonality on there. But we talk about the last, like who's at the bottom. And sometimes I feel like we shouldn't even mention these guys because they didn't play good enough the week to even be. They shouldn't be mentioning nobody's anything. The Panthers have been at the bottom for like 30-some months straight. Like when has the Panthers not been at the bottom of the power rankings? It was like 2020, like COVID. They ain't been. They've been at the bottom.
Steve Smith. Since they let Steve Smith go, and since they let my man
CMC go, they let DJ Moore go. They got the defensive end guy.
Quarterback.
Oh, Jake Mahomes?
No, come on, man. Cam Newton. Cam CMC. They let a lot of talent leave out of town.
Listen, I do think that the year that Ron Rivera was there before he went to the Commanders, and man, listen, I can't remember. It was one of the defensive coordinators came there. He had a 1-year deal. He was also the coach at the Cardinals, but he got there and they traded away CMC. They traded away DJ Moore. And then the following year, now they treated Brian Burns, right? So it's like all their best players they got rid of, and they ended up doubling down. They paid, I think, both of their guards $20 million a year to protect Young.
Jake Bryce. But who is Bryce throwing to? Who does he have to throw to now? And Bryce, he doesn't look like
Deontay Johnson. He got Deontay Johnson. He got a rookie from South Carolina, Xavier Legette. He got Trimble, the tight end from a couple years ago from North. I mean, I'm naming guys you ain't even heard. Like, cause they don't do nothing. Yeah, they don't do nothing. Running back wise, they did get a rookie from Texas. They got a rookie, but he's hurt. So you got Hubbard and Miles Sanders back there trying to run. It just. Again, they just.
Who else, you got the Panthers. Who else to put in that bottom feeder category?
Oh man, those G-men. Danny Dimes is bank robbing. He is. God, he
put a ski mask on when he go pick his check up, huh? Put a ski mask on.
Wait,
when you go
man, that check. He is just. God, it was bad, and they brought out all the greats for the game. They had Lawrence Taylor and all the old school greats were there, and then they went and pooped the cap. They just didn't even. It was just embarrassing, man. Giants fans, Panthers fans should just, you know what? Don't even boycott football for the rest of 2024. The other three teams I had at the bottom was the Commanders, the Titans, and the Raiders. The Raiders. Man, John Harbaugh and the Chargers just got here to the league, right? He got rid of all the wide receivers. So you tell me, when you get rid of Keenan Allen, you get rid of Mike Williams, what is left for you to do? You got rid of Austin Eckler. So you got rid of all your stars, and you told everybody, I'm coming back to run the football. And guess what they did? They ran the football right down the Raiders' throat. All they wanted to. Gave it to them every which way they could. I think 175, 176 yards. Dobbins, the resurgence of Dobbins. Gus Edwards is in the building. So, man, Harbaugh just came back with this old school bully ball, and he don't care. He don't care what you do.
You know it. It's not like he was starting from scratch. He inherited a great quarterback. He inherited a pretty good, solid defense.
Yes, he got that.
And the skill positions that he let go. I mean, Mike Williams, I don't even think he touched the field last week. And Keenan Allen got hurt again.
Yep.
For Chicago. So, I mean, Harbaugh, they know how to win.
Cause I ain't gonna use you, so why am I gonna pay you? I ain't gonna use you. Might as well go someplace else and go play, because I ain't even using the wide receiver position, so I don't really care. And long you give me some running backs, get downhill, give me some offensive linemen, and I'm just gonna keep churning and burning until you say win. And I think they beat them 22-10 or something like that, 22-something. But the Raiders were Raiders. They just,
they don't have a quarterback. On Minshew, I mean, that's your week one starting quarterback. Good luck with that. I think he's a serviceable quarterback if you can fill him in. But if you're thinking you're going to be able to compete in the AFC, and you got guys like Herbert, you got Mahomes, like, it's just not. Give me Bo Nix over Gordon Minshew.
Ooh.
Give me Bo Nix.
I was a fan of theirs, and then again, the real season week one hit, and the Broncos, I mean, I want to have so much faith in these guys because I see that they're built the right way. I know they have bright minds. I know they can read defenses. But something about those lights cut on, and it's time to really go play, and the real become real. It becomes so. We take everything for granted here in Kansas City because we have the best quarterback, the best tight end.
That's right.
And we have so many great players that we expect other teams must have great players also. But some of these other teams, I think they're dealing with subpar parts. They're like they just dealing with quarterbacks that can't pick up a blitz, and even when they do pick it up, they don't have the arm strength or the ability to get it to where it needs to be thrown to make you pay for it. They don't have offensive line that can keep these defensive linemen out of the pocket, or they don't have running backs that can,
It's hard to win at this level, right? Everybody's good at this level, man. So I get what you're saying 100%. Everyone doesn't have a Patrick Mahomes, but at the same time, it's not easy to go out here and win. It's just not.
The Titans found a way to lose, even though they didn't give up a touchdown. They found a way to let the Bears come back. Caleb Williams threw for 93 yards. He threw for 90. You let a quarterback throw for 93 yards and the offense don't score a touchdown and you lose by giving up.
I'll never forget it. I'm 45 years old. I can remember sitting in one of Dick Vermeil's old meetings. He used to put all those stats up that everybody hated, but one stood out to me, and always has and always will, because it's still, even with the way the game has changed today, this would never change. You win that turnover battle, you're going to win 92% of the time. You block a punt, you're going to win 90-some% of the time.
Oh, yeah.
They got a pick six and a block punt. You can throw for negative 93 yards, and the percentage says you're going to win that game. So
can't do both.
What it was.
Can't do both. Like, come on, team. We can't.
You can't do both. A pick six and a block punt back to back. Yeah.
And then the Commanders just let me down.
They should have kept Babel. They should have kept Coach Babel.
They should have did that because he can win you 10 ball games. He can. He got a defensive mind that he knows how to win the ball over. He knows how to win ball games. So. Well, that's the power rankings, obviously, the best, the worst, the winners, the losers. And then we're going to wrap up the show, man. Just talking real quick. We got 3 matchups of the week. The first matchup is going on Thursday night. We got the Buffalo Bills going down to Miami. Division rivalry, we want to call it. I want to believe the Jets were the team that everybody thought was going to come out the AFC North. But, man, Aaron just... I don't think he's the old Aaron, though. I think that the timing, I don't think the connection with him and Wilson, there's a few things that were off. And I mean, they were lucky to get the one touchdown. Aaron
on the dead play.
Yeah, he good for that. If that's the only,
at least once or twice a game. But look, I'm not going to judge the Jets off of a week 1 having to fly across the country. They hadn't played any preseason game. So this was essentially Aaron's first game. You can't even count last year. He played 3 plays.
Okay.
So this is essentially his first game as a Jet, and that's on the road against a team that's been together for a few years now. The Jets are trying to find themselves. They'll be all right. So I'm not going to judge them off week 1 versus the Super Bowl, could have been Super Bowl champs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
San Francisco 49. That's a tough test to take week 1. You want to take that test week 12, week 13, not week 1.
Well, like I said, Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, they were able to squeak back and come back in the second half and beat the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are probably going to be a little bit better than everybody thought going into this season. They didn't really use the rookie wide receiver, Marvin Harrison Jr., that much, but they used all the other pieces. James Conner, I don't know. I mean, he got to found the youth something. Like, he just, every year he's consistent. He's scoring touchdowns. He's getting carries. He just keeps running hard forever. So James Conner keeps doing this thing for the Arizona Cardinals. But the Buffalo Bills are going to Miami. Obviously, Tyreek Hill, Tua. I thought there was an injury to Waddle. I thought he got to tweak something during the game, so maybe he's kind of maybe for the game. But that running game that the Dolphins
A-Chain is he's a home run hitter shot.
Man, he goes quick.
I think if the Buffalo Bills definitely cannot afford to get down to this team on the road. Are they playing in Miami? They're in Miami, right?
Yeah. Thursday night at Miami.
You show up and play that same game versus Arizona, I think. Miami win. But also, Miami started off slow. Now, obviously, they started off slow for good reason for what they had. But that showed me a lot that they were able to come back. Because Jacksonville, no one has them winning a Super Bowl or anything, but that's a formidable team. Decent quarterback, great players. So for them to come back against that team and perform the way they perform, definitely looking forward to this Bills-Miami game. Sure.
There's definitely some stars down in Miami on the field, punching the ball out, getting after it, making some turnovers, things they needed to do at key points of the game. My game too, man. Obviously, both of these teams lost, but there's an interest I have in both of them. The Browns going to the Jaguars. We just talked about the Jaguars, how they lost. They was up and then lost to the Miami Dolphins. The Browns got beat down. They were at home. Dallas came in there. They brought the bags of money, the suitcases, and they showed them. They started flashing watches and Rolexes in front of them. And I don't know. I guess Deshaun was just, he had a lot on his mind. Obviously, resting. I think his Pop's passed a few days before the game, so he was dealing with some of that, some personal stuff.
Oh, man, we keep making excuses. It was a shoulder. He hadn't played in 2 years. He lost his Pops. Like, at some point,
the legal stuff came back up, so it's some
came back up.
Case he ain't seeing the field like he used to. He ain't delivering the ball. He ain't putting it where it needs to be. And I think twice in the game it was fourth down. He didn't even really. He just didn't. He got tackled. Like, how do you get tackled on fourth down?
Throw it up.
Throw it over your shoulder like a hand. Whatever you got to do, you getting tackled ain't an option. And for that to happen,
But for me, there was one particular play. It was a crossing route. I think it was the one he threw an interception on. It was a crossing route. The guy, he overthrew the guy by 7 yards. Like, I know high school quarterbacks. My son can go out there right now and make that pass. You know what I'm saying? Because when I saw that, I was like, ooh, something is not right with him.
And then after the game, I saw a clip where I think that he was the quarterback. Somebody knocked the ball out of his hand, and there's one of his linemen, Bacino, he got an all-pro lineman, got on the ball. He tried to put his hand out to pick the lineman up. The lineman smacked his hand out the way.
Wow.
It's like, man,
I didn't see that.
Like, yeah. So when the offensive line, that's what I'm trying. That's what I'm interested to see if these jokers gonna pull a Charlie Brown and just take the ball. He come to kick it. They just gonna take it away. We watch him go flying. Like,
come on, we watch film. We all know it's like, bro, like you're costing us games. You're not that guy. And hey, when you making that kind of money, we don't like to talk about people's pocketbooks.
Not during the season.
Taking that kind of money, you gotta perform.
You got to.
Guys gonna start looking at you with the Biggie Smalls eye, right? Like, yo, what's going on? You can't make this amount and be out here costing us ball games. So that's
no. So I'm hoping that we see a rebound from Deshaun or see some semblance of when he was in Houston. So it was such a him, Lamar, and Patrick gonna be the three-headed monster that takes over the league. And the other two have shined, and now he has gone through a lot in his personal life. And I was hoping that this would be the year for him to get back at it. They got a great defense, or they have a good defense.
Great offensive fixes.
Offensive.
They got good offense. Now they didn't have Nick Chubb.
Yeah,
and that's a big part of Stefanski's offense, being able to hand that ball to Chubb, run the ball, and play action off of it. But maybe that offense is not a fit. Maybe the quarterback is not a fit for this particular offense. And then you also got to think about this, Shop. You know this. Sometimes when there are higher expectations, we keep talking about Houston. There was no expectations in Houston. You playing with house money. You playing free. Then you got the
rookie deal.
The expectations are high. The team is great. Mm-hmm. People just can't rise to larger expectations when it comes to playing football. May still have the talent, but expectations are greater now.
Yeah, especially in that division, man. That division, I think I misquoted. I said the AFC North when I was talking about the Jets. That's the AFC East. This is the AFC North is the Bengals.
Baltimore, Bengals, Cleveland.
Yeah. Then the Steelers.
The Steelers. Oh,
that's what I'm saying. Like, so, like, this ain't the time for him to. This is not the time to get in your feelings. You gotta find it, and if he don't find it week 2, man, just take him out and go ahead and let Jameis eat them beans. What do all these, like Jameson. He can't wait to just be let go, bro. He'll do
all the craziness, but then he'll go out there and put about 350 on you now.
And maybe that's what they need. Maybe
he might throw 2 or 3 picks, but he gonna move that offense now.
So
it's better than what Deshaun is doing right now.
We ain't that. We gotta have some answers week 2 from the Browns. So I'm interested in
that. I'll definitely be. It's not a game that is probably everybody wants to watch, but I'll be watching just to see what Deshaun does, and if he has a bounce back week and looks like any resemblance of what he looked like in Houston.
And then my third game is obviously our Chiefs, man. Our Chiefs playing at home versus the Bengals. I think that there were some players from the Bengals that called Burrowhead at the time, smoking on them Joe Burrows was Patrick's dad with the cigars. So they've been going back and forth. Chase refused to mention that, Patrick Mahomes was the number 1 player in the league. He went through this whole little, I'm not going to say his name. Y'all know who it is. I ain't going to say his name. Like, he went through this whole little, diatribe about that in the offseason. And so I think it's been very interesting watching if there is a rival for the Chiefs through this back-to-back season, and now as we are approaching a three-peat, if there is a rival, I think, if it ain't the Bills, was not,
the Chiefs don't have a rival. What are you talking about? You making up stuff now. We don't have a rival right now.
I mean, the Bengals in the last in the last 4 games that we've played each other, I think in the regular season the Bengals are actually 3-1. I think the Bengals have beaten the Chiefs 3 out of the last 4 times that they've played each other, and we beaten them once. So I think head to head, you would. And maybe that's just Joe Burrows. Maybe because the one time he was hurt, we ended up beating him, but they didn't have Joe Burrows or something like that.
No, we beat him last year with Burrow. We beat him last year with Burrow. No, I mean the year before. The year before. Yeah, the year before.
So I think there is a little bit of, if there's anybody where he's, like I said, that.
If you want to look at it from that standpoint, yeah, the only quarterbacks that have beaten the Chiefs in the Mahomes era is Burrow and Tom Brady. That's it. The only quarterbacks to get it done. So in that sense, it's a rival.
We'll see. We'll see if we can take care of business. Obviously, I'm hoping to see our offense continue to be this. Continue to blossom. I saw some things in week 1. I think the only thing I saw was a few swing passes to the running backs that we missed on. Right, it was one to Checo down the sideline, and then one to P-Line. Yeah. And both of those actually probably would have went for touchdown. They were like. I think if there was 2 throws that Pat wanted to get back, it was those 2 throws. Defensively, the one coverage, the long throw, the throw and run that went to Isaiah Likely, like you said, Bolden was in good position, just didn't make a play on the ball. Other than that, I don't really know if I saw anything that really stood out as being, phenomenal plays by McDuffie on that 4th down when Flowers was playing hide and seek and went out to the flat. How he even saw that and reacted to it and kept him from a first down. Like his instinct, if you're talking about Madden, his instinctive ability is like 110. There ain't no 99. It's 120.
And Watson is getting better. And Watson is getting better. I thought he had a tremendous play versus say Flowers 1-on-1 going down the side.
Oh yeah, the corner. Yep. So we have some young corners. One of the guys, because you're the X factor, I did want to bring up my X factors as far as talking about players with the Chiefs on the offense and defense. I do think Hollywood Brown, if he can get healthy and get back to this and back to the wide receiver room, seeing him and his vertical threat will be an X factor to the game. And on defense, Dante, I want you to pay attention to this guy Hicks, number 21, safety. When I tell you he might be
okay. What do you like about him? Is his range to cover? Is his IQ? What do you like?
Love it. The IQ, his body language. He also plays special teams because he's not a full, every down starter. His playment when he enters the box, he plays like a linebacker. He's got a little bit of Ed Reed to him. He got a little bit of Sean Taylor to him. He got a playmaker ability.
Taylor, you said a name right there, boy.
No, that's not. But he wearing that 21, so I'm thinking
when I'm seeing kind of built like him too a little bit.
Yes, and he bring it. So like I'm
eyes on 21 this week.
Keep your eyes on Mr. Hicks, the safety. I think he's just an all around.
Well, against that guy Burrow, so really a good week to see what the IQ like, what his game is like versus this particular corner.
Yeah. And obviously Reed is the guy. He's our safety, making the calls and everything. But this young guy's just been able to be, like you're saying, this is an X factor, just an unknown. When he gets on the field, he makes things happen. So I'm looking forward to seeing him just on the field as much as possible. Let me say that. So
we gave me something to look forward to this week.
Something to look forward. So those are 3 games. Obviously, Dante, man, it's always a pleasure to have you on. We can't get you on enough. So anytime you want to come back, we're gonna chop it up some more. Maybe get some locker room stories about back in the day when me and you used to play. So I'll look at
the schedule. What's next? I just scored 3 touchdown shot. What you talking about? What's next? So ice and steel. What's next?
Oh man, no, we still have some quarters left, man. We got some plays left on this field to make, bro.
Oh my God.
So always
good
love.
chopping up with your brother.
Always, man. So, hey, man, that's The Process. It's week 2 edition. The Process is always greater than what it produces. I'm your guy, Shawn Barber. Thanks to McGinnis Group. Thanks to Red Door Grill. And also thanks to my guy, Dante Hall, for joining us. We will see you next week. Peace.
Peace and love.